Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim speaking on Wednesday, the 22nd of February. So looking at the euro dollar first, and well, the euro's in its continuation mode here, looking for the monthly S1. I talked about it yesterday. Well, didn't quite make yesterday's low yesterday, but eventually it's just broken those this morning and heading on south. Seems to be wanting to dash down there in a hurry by looks of things. Untouched daily pivot, but at the moment, if anything, it just looks weak. As I said, we could be on for that quite easily into that monthly S1, maybe more. It does look weak at the moment, but we'll see how it runs through this morning. Often we just see a bit of a correction after 8 o'clock, and just have to wait to see how that affects the euro. My preference is to be on the downside with it at the moment. So it could be a bit of a waiting game for some sort of retrace to sell into. So it is a case of waiting for retracements. Okay, not much else to say on that. Looking weak there. Cable, well, it benefited from a non-vote, I understand, from the House of Lords on Brexit. But it's being passed from the upper house and seen a bit of a bounce. Seeing a bit of rally from that. However, it's run into its weekly R1 area here. Now, question posed here: will it bounce off this upper trend line? Possibility. It has got an untouched daily pivot below. Maybe if it continues in this mode, it put in slightly a lower high at the highs there as well. It's a bit weaker sort of movement kicking in there. There's a bit of an overall dollar strength coming through, although both the pound and the yen have managed to avoid it to a degree. Maybe if it sells through those 21s, we could be back for the pivot, but short-term indecision here really for me. Just need to come back again looking at it. I mean, there is support of the shorter-term moving averages that we're seeing at the moment. It has been chopping quite nastily throughout the last week or so. I'm not necessarily a firm believer that this is going to not chop yet again. Dollar yen. So the yen being the other beneficiary, as it looks like, I'll say if it doesn't look like much of a benefit at the moment as a strength, but started to work its way through a little bit at least. As there's no requirement for them to continue supporting the yen at the moment. It seems to be finding its own feet a little bit here. At the moment, with the lower high, lower lows that's running through here, it would look like it's got a bit more continuation, but the overall dollar strength, to me, it's sort of making me think, well, unless we see some sort of change across the board, we're more prone to sort of rallies against any trade. So I need to wait to see how this settles out this morning. At the moment, as I say, it's erring to the bearish side here, which is stronger yen, but not immediately clear. Aussie dollar. So the Aussie dollar, once again, it seems to be to a degree outperforming. It's some of its peers. It's broken back above the prior low, high there. It looks like it may be reversing. But how long for is another matter. It's has hit its daily pivot. It has hit the R1. It does look very bitty where it's sitting at the moment. From this short-term move, again, it looks like it might have some more upside in there, but again, very choppy market yesterday, and it not totally convinced at the moment. Perhaps it's a bit more in line with the pound. And if we see some dollar weakness coming through, maybe it could be the one that pushes up a little bit easier. Canadian dollar is pushing up at the moment, and is sort of is a bit softer against the US dollar, whilst oil has held up okay. It's still hanging in there on the daily basis. It's still pushing up a little bit here. It looks like it's running out of steam a little bit in this sort of move it's done on the 4 hourlies, and any break of that 8 moving average may see the Canadian dollar push up stronger. So on that 4 hourly 8, if it starts selling off there, it just would suggest a bit of weakness coming back into oil prices, which as I said, may see the Canadian dollar accelerate a little bit towards that daily 50. Above that monthly pivot, that's where it could be heading for. At the moment, it's, well, hit the S1 through the daily pivot, and it's, as I say, whether it can push on beyond that monthly pivot. Not the clearest of markets this morning. We've seen the only clarity we've got is towards the euro, but it's getting into a trade on it rather than just trying to jump into a low. The other markets to me are, well, a watch and wait situation until we get something a little bit more clearer. Okay, have a good day. Bye. Oh, sorry, before I do that, I should just mention the news that's coming out today, which is best part of nothing. We've got the second estimate on the UK GDP at 9:30. Not expecting anything significantly different there because they generally count the beans pretty well. In the first place, we've got core retail sales at 1:30 for which will affect the Canadian dollar. May get some volatility from that, but we have to wait all the way till this evening for the FOMC minutes at 7 p.m. Now, most of the people that are part of the meeting have spoken and given their views, etc. However, the minutes still do move the markets a little bit. So at 7 p.m. we may see a bit more volatility. Okay, that's it for me. Have a good day. Bye for now.